One of the big issues in education today is how we're going to evaluate teachers and hold them accountable for their performance in the classroom. It's without a doubt that all the data is converging on the fact that it's the quality of the teacher in the classroom that predicts academic accomplishment for our children. And so we have a huge moral responsibility to make sure that those teachers are good, that they get the full professional support that they need, and that we have the ability to both acknowledge great teaching and reward great teaching, but actually equally important, find those teachers who are struggling, provide them the support they need to get better, and if they cannot improve sufficiently, find ways to let them go in ways that are humane and appropriate. So I'd like to make a radical proposal in around how to structure teacher contracts. Right now, we bring in young teachers, new teachers from schools of education, alternative certification programs, and we give them 3 years, 3 years of contracts, renewable each year, and once they get to that third year, they essentially have a rolling horizon contract unless they actually do become leave or become ineffective over a period of 2-3 years. And that's just not a system that drives a continual improvement. So I want to propose that we think in terms of 3 levels of contracts for teachers. And the first level is what we do now. You bring in a young teacher, you give them a 1-year contract, and you give them very clear goals and support and mentoring about how they succeed. And you observe them in the classroom, and the principal then evaluates their performance, their peers evaluate their performance, and demonstrate what they need to learn. Do that twice a year, once in the fall, see if they've learned it, and if they have, in that second spring evaluation demonstrated improvement, they get another 2nd-year contract. And so that happens 3 years in a row. To get that 4th-year contract, they need to then identify what are the things that they need to learn. So it's not just what are the core competencies, we assume those. It's not just in the teaching and the services they provide the schools. They also have to identify their goals, particularly by analyzing their own performance of the students in their classrooms. What do they want to achieve going forward? So, for example, if their students are not consistently proficient, what are their goals in terms of increasing the percent of children in their classroom who end the year proficient? And that they be given a 3-year contract in which they get regular observations and the opportunities to demonstrate how they are or not achieving their goals. And if they have been successful over that 3-year period in achieving the goals that they set out in relationship to their principal and supervisor, then they get another 3rd-year contract. But then to get reappointed after that 2nd, 3rd-year contract, they really have to demonstrate how they intend in their goals to become a master teacher or a leader within the school. What are the other things they're going to take on? And in response for taking on more leadership roles or having a higher standard of evaluation, that they would be given a 4-year contract, looked at every year to make sure that they're progressing. And so that as one progresses through the system, in exchange for continual improvement and better performance, one's rewarded with a longer contract. Those contracts can include value-added scores, they have to include observations, but equally important, they have to demonstrate that the teachers that articulate the goals they have for improvement and the data that they will bring to prove that they have improved and that they are a benefit to our children.